Hi, welcome to Cecily's Studio YouTube channel. So I'm going to make a Netherite sword, and it is from the Minecraft, and you will need to be making about 23 pieces of cardboard 1 inch by 5 inches. And I would start with a kind of a long piece of cardboard just to make it easier on you. It's helpful to have a straight edge, if not a metal ruler. I am using a Xacto blade or a knife to cut it with. You might get away with using just scissors, especially if you're just doing 1 inch by 5 inches. And you will need a ruler. I'm also using a self-healing mat at this point, and that is helping me too because it's a 1 inch healing mat. And now I'm using the pencil to mark off where I'm going to do the 1 inch by 5 inches using the metal ruler. So you could use a ruler and then have a straight edge somewhere as you glide it across. There's a variety of ways you can make a 1 inch by 5 inch piece of cardboard. So yeah, this piece of cardboard was a little wobbly, so I really want to make sure I have a very crisp edges for it because you really want to have them a nice cube. And so this is how I started to design it. I did a 3 by 2, and you just kind of feel your way through and go, okay, that's a little too long, that's not looking right, and it is quite a maze. Now here I'm able to use the scissors, so that's the good news. So now I'm using the scissors, but again, you're just going to figure out how you want to put this pieces of puzzles together. And there's 7. I counted how many. If you want to change that, that's fine, but I was trying to go according to what I've seen. And I think you could do anything with this, with the Minecraft concept of having these long pieces of cardboard and decorate it, if not kind of configure it into any type of the Minecraft tools that they have. So things got shifted around as I was doing this, and I kept reorganizing it. Be patient with yourself. It's a little frustrating, but I was looking at the over design and making sure I was getting the right angles, but I still think I made a mistake somewhere in the center. I think it should have been a little bit longer. So okay, now I'm adding the masking tape. So I did a long strip in the middle first, just to make sure that everything's lined up. And now I'm going to do a long strip along the side, kind of a big T. And that should hold things together quite well as I go along. And things will shift and move, and just readjust it. And again, take your time, fix it if you have to, like that. It's going to happen, and be patient with yourself as you go. So here's another long strip. As long as I can go, I'm going to put them on, and then I'm going to make sure I fill in every little corner that is moving. So I start with one side, but then I will flip it and do the other side. So you will use a lot of masking tape. Slow down. You want to make sure you don't do the edges. I'm trying to stay away from the edges as much as possible because I want to have that nice clean edge. Okay, so this is paper mache, and I'm doing a nice long strip on it, and then I have this 1 inch copy paper, and I'm wrapping it around it. So if you haven't used paper mache before, it kind of gets sticky, so I had to put a lid underneath it, and the 1 inch will help keep that grid concept going. But guess what? You could probably use duct tape if you don't have paper mache paste. I love paper mache paste because once you're done, you put at least 1 layer on, maybe 2, and then you can do anything with this. You can spray paint it, you can use markers on it, and ideally you can use acrylics. Whatever you've got in your house, but if you let it dry flat, it will harden and it will last, and it will be pretty strong because that's what paper mache does. So I'm going around the edges really carefully, and I'm tearing and breaking it. So if you've never worked with paper mache, you just have to make sure your hands stay sticky the whole time, and the paper is a little sticky. So wrap it around it a couple of different times, just making sure that you cover all of the cardboard, and that's the most important thing. So I keep turning it and I'm smoothing it out, turning it and smoothing it out. And again, the paper has been a nice layer of paste on it. So if you don't have an, oh, there's Logan. He's checking out the process. Man, what are you doing? I'm making a Minecraft tool and netherite, right? A diamond sword. So again, I had some long strips of the paper mache and I'm adding it and smoothing it out. Sometimes I just have paper mache on my hand. I have a couple of different tutorials already about how to make the paper mache and how to get started with paper mache. So if you are new to paper mache and don't know how to do this, then you can check this out. But this is the best way, I think, to make any kind of Halloween like item, costume, whatever you want to call it. Paper mache can make a ton of really cool things. So it's going to take you some time, and you might let it dry and then do another layer, or anytime if you want to leave it, you can, but just don't leave it flat like that. You're going to need to prop it up. I just need a few more pieces, so I'm cutting them as quickly as I can with the scissors, and then I'm going to add it to the sword. And if you get the paste on it before, it does kind of mess up the paper a little bit. So I'm doing the final bits. I'm looking for little places where I do not have the paper mache. And again, if you don't get it all on it today, you can let it dry, and again, just prop it up, and then you can do it again. You can put it on it. But if you don't prop it up flat, it will dry however you however it is. So it can even like get distorted. So this is what I would use, but again, you could try using duct tape. Duct tape would be super duper cool, I think, and if you're good at that, you can go for it, or if you have the colors. But this is the concept of using the cubes, and even just these strips is using the cubes to make it, and then you can make anything really out of Minecraft. Now what I just did is I'm really trying to make sure I keep my edges nice and crisp, so I am going back over it really carefully with it and making sure I've done that. Now I did not make this perfectly. I was so absorbed in the tutorial and figuring things out that I missed some things. So let me show you how you could fix it. So here's a cube, and I can add it right there. It's wet, that's not ideal, but it still can work. You put that on there, and then you're going to turn it, and then you're going to put it on this way, and then cover it with paper mache. So thanks for tuning in to Cecily Studio YouTube channel. This is how to make a netherite, and it's a sword in Minecraft for a diamond. And I hope that you like and subscribe and watch more of my tutorials. And take care.